Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the PivotBoss pre-market video for Tuesday, December 4th, 2018. I am Frank Ochoa, aka PivotBoss. Here's a look at the daily time frame of the ES. After the previous session, we gapped up and ran right into the resistance. This was a level we knew that we had a great shot to reach after bouncing from the lows. We knew the FOMC key level up above was a likely target. We reached it yesterday on the gap up, but it was also a good profit-taking opportunity, at least on the near term. Now, price has pulled back here in overnight trading. We're seeing price hold below the previous session's midpoint, which is a very important level to watch as we head into the rest of the session. But we're also seeing a battle here at the previous session's low. That's the 2773 half level. And holding that level would suggest that we could try to go and retest highs. And if price can push through 28.25 at some point over the next several days, that could open up quite a bit of upside that can take us back toward 29.50, and that could be a pretty nice little move by the end of the year. However, this resistance level has been fierce ever since it went offered earlier in October. It's been defended over and over again, and right now, if there's any failure to hold the 73 halves today, that could open up more of a pullback into the pivot range below and test at least the 27.20 level, which is the midpoint of the last month's range. Now again, I mentioned that if any pullback does occur, that could be a buying opportunity that provides a higher low and an attempt to break through those highs. And if that occurs, again, we could have a nice finish to the year. Otherwise, any pullback that fails to hold 27.20s again continues to search for support, 2700, perhaps even back down toward the 26.25s. So we are in a very clear trading range here. Are we going to make a move all the way back down, or will any pullback here be defended for an attempt to break higher? That's the main question. We got to continue to watch these key levels. The main one to watch here, 73 half. That's going to be the key level here. Any failure to hold that level would suggest much more weakness ahead. If we take a look at the NQ here, you'll notice very similar behavior. The only difference here is that this one has lower highs that we've been seeing, whereas the ES is kind of all at the same level. Right now this has lower highs, lower lows, and again failing to get above yesterday's midpoint, testing the previous session's low right now. That's going to be an important level to continue to watch. And overall, if there's a failure to hold that low, we're sitting right on it right now. The low yesterday is 15.25. We're right at 18.75. A failure to hold above that zone overall would suggest more of a pullback into the pivot range, perhaps as deep as 6,800. And even if that were to happen, it could be an opportunity for bulls to attempt to defend for a shot at creating a higher low. And if it can break above these recent highs, call it 7,200, that could be pretty significant for kind of an end of year push higher towards 75s. And that again is all kind of predicated on how deep of a pullback we get right now. So keep an eye right here on 7K. That's a key level that's kind of being defended at the moment. Any failure to hold that zone opens up more of a rotation downward as deep as 6,800 and perhaps even to new lows, right? If we have lower highs and lower lows here in this channel, failing to hold 7K could open up another rotation back down, and we could be looking at taking out those 6,500 lows into about 64. So again, the framework of this channel has been intact, and we got to see if there's going to be a violation to the upside, or will we remain within the confines of the channel and start to work downward. Not an easy question right now to answer, but we got some key levels to watch. Again, 69.50 to about 7K is going to be a very important zone here today. Holding above it would go a long way toward perhaps seeing an attempt at pushing a little bit higher. If we look at crude oil, this one's up another 2% right now. 2 strong days up, but we are still in a very bearish move. A very, very bearish move. We are inside the PIMA trigger zone here, which is usually the best area to sell for another rotation down. One thing to keep in mind is we have this large trading range here that or pivot range that is developed after last month's big move. That would suggest some sideways action. So while we could see a drop here to new lows, it wouldn't be out of the ordinary to see it pop right back up and perhaps chop a little bit heading into the end of the year to digest the recent sell-off. Overall, until price can reestablish acceptance back above 55s, this market remains bearish, and any rejection of 55 could open up another rotation downward into the 40s, much lower. So again, 55s is a big time key level. Above it can open up some upside back towards 62s. Failure to hold 55 or a rejection of it can knock this thing back to new lows. So very important zone here for crude. If we take a look at gold now, you'll notice gold is pushing through highs here. This is the highest point we've been in a while. You can see back here we got to as high as 1246s. Today we also got 1246.7. So the highest point we've been so far. You can see a rounded behavior in gold here. That would typically suggest accumulation and perhaps a rally to come. If price can start to get above 1250s, this could be rather significant. But even with this move to recent highs, we've seen it get this high before and then get knocked right back down to 1200. So you know, nothing says we have to go higher from here. It has to find acceptance above 1250, 1245. Otherwise, above the previous month's high here could open up a move all the way back to 1200 yet again. So right now gold is in the prove it stage, where it either has to prove that it's going to go higher, or we're about to see another pullback back below 1250 or 1240 rather. So continue to watch this zone very closely. It is getting close. It is getting close to a major breakout opportunity, and that could come soon. But again, we got to watch for the key level to be broken here above 1250. Will open it up, and if that does happen, or if and when it happens, it could be a rather significant rally back toward 1287s, 1325s, and as high as 1360 down the road. That's how significant this accumulation is. But again, got to be patient and wait for the confirmed expansion. Alright, that is it for now. We'll see how this plays out heading into the rest of the session. If you joined me last afternoon for the PivotBoss monthly market outlook, thank you very much. I have posted the recording there, so if you want to watch it back, we have a ton of candidates to watch, both short-term, long-term, and also bullish and bearish candidates. A lot of great candidates came out of that session, so if you did not check it out, you can catch the recording back at pivotboss.com. All right, everyone, have a fantastic rest of your day, and I will see you in the trading room. Take care.